The Bass Anglers Sportsman Society had been around more than 3 years in 1971, growing and gaining attention for the fairly new sport of competitive bass fishing. But the sport went through its most meaningful growth spurt ever in that year, when Ray Scott took the top 24 anglers from his new tournament circuit up in an airliner.
Nobody knew where they were going. I mean, this was a mystery lake, and we had a pool amongst the anglers of where the destination was, and it was Mexico, and it was Canada, and it was the West Coast, because we'd never had a tournament out there. And when the plane got to 35,000 feet, Ray announced that we were going to Las Vegas, Lake Mead.
You're headed for Lake Mead. Next stop, Las Vegas.
It would become one of the most successful experiments in all the world of sports, standing head and shoulders above any other tournament. It has dominated in terms of fans and viewers, and in turn, changed the lives of every angler who has ever hoisted that one-of-a-kind trophy. Bobby Murray of Hot Springs, Arkansas won that first Classic 50 years ago.
The biggest contrast between the Classic when it started and the Classic today. The weigh-in for the first Bassmaster Classic was a floating boat dock. Now, how big would the boat dock have to be today to put the amount of people that's going to show up to see the Bassmaster Classic?
Murray would win another Classic during the 70s in Mississippi.
There's your winner right there. That's him, folks.
New names would emerge, writing the early history of the Classic as they went. There would be another two-time Classic winner in the 1970s. A young Texan named Rick Clunn would win the 1976 Bassmaster Classic on Lake Guntersville on the Tennessee River. And the very next year, he made it 2 in a row on the Kissimmee Chain in Florida.
Winning multiple Classics, I think it's like in any sport. There's sometimes when you win one championship, it just motivates you to push harder and to become better at what it takes to win the Classic. And the thing a lot of people have forgotten in that deal is that I was first, second, and third in 4 consecutive Classics. And I really almost won 4 in a row.
The fishing world would begin to look at Classic winners as their sports heroes. It was the kind of title that made careers, as would also happen to the 1979 Bassmaster Classic winner, Hank Parker. 50 years ago, a single tournament came to define an entire sport, and the decade of the 70s saw it off to a blazing start.